Hi, I'm Nathan. I go by Peteparker, and every week I do comic book reviews because that's the rule around my house. If I want to keep buying them, I got to review them. So this is a review of the Fear Itself tie-in. This is really just Ghost Rider #1. It's a restart of the Ghost Rider series, which is one of the main reasons why I bought it. But it seems to be a Fear Itself tie-in too, just because Sin is more or less involved. So I didn't know if I was going to pick this up this week. I don't really like Ghost Rider. I don't like the story. I don't like the character. It seems really boring to me in general. I don't like the movie. I generally don't like anything to do with Ghost Rider. But it is a #1, and they're going in a different direction, and it is a new character altogether. So I thought that I would flip through it at the store, and I came upon two different images. One was this Great Sin image, full page splash page that I thought was really good, and the second one was these two semi-obscure characters. I think they're old Ghost Rider villains. I don't know for sure. Deathwatch and Blackout. There's a lot of controversy about Blackout's real name because it hasn't ever been really revealed, but I saw those two characters and I saw that the art was good, and I was like, well, now I have to have this. I got to see what's going to happen with these minor characters in the background that I haven't heard from in a long time, and it's got a new character involved also. And the art's pretty good too. One thing you may not notice right away from this image is that there's actually a dead dude being held by this guy's hand right here, and there's his spine and there's parts of his arm. Now, I typically complain about the fact that there is not enough civilian casualties side kind of stuff going on. You always get a lot of rubble, a lot of smoke in the background kind of stuff, but you very rarely get that kind of situation where it's that deep in gore. And I almost feel like that was snuck through on this book because I didn't even see it at first. I looked at it twice and happened to notice those two bones leaking blood coming out of there. And I was like, whoa, that's a serious corpse going on there. And that's pretty awesome because it's more realistic to what it really would be like. It's a lot of times what I look for in these books. So you get introduced to the new Ghost Rider, and she's a girl or whatever, and she rides a speed bike or whatever. I was so hoping that they were going to do something totally different than a motorcycle. We've seen in the past that these Ghost Riders ride horses in the 1800s and maybe future stuff in the future, flying bikes or whatever, but I don't know what the obsession with a motorcycle is. It's really cool for, when Ghost Rider first came out or whatever, and stuntmen on motorcycles was a cool thing, but today it's kind of not all that up to speed. I would have liked to see something different, something else that the writer would have written. And from her very first appearance, I thought, well, cool, she's got this spinning fire thing that's making her appear places, and she's carrying this little tiny handle device thing, which I also thought was going to come out to a scathe or some chains or whatever her weapon was going to be. I was like, well, maybe her method of getting around is much more closer to teleportation or something like that, using electronics or some kind of wiring or something, to move around. Would have been much more interesting than yet another motorcycle, which I find to be kind of a lame aspect of the character anyway. And then at the same time, in this image right there, you can look at her chest a little bit, and then this image you can look at her chest a lot, and now that I look at it again, it's obviously just the shine of the leather that's on her chest, but it really to me looked like a solid weird metal curvy piece right there, and I thought that was horrible because it's here too, it's all over the place, but it's really just the shine of the material that she's wearing that is not drawn great. So I don't know how much reflection you get straight off the front or whatever, but and then she fights Sin or whatever, and she tries to pick up Sin's hammer, which is interesting too, a little bit, but then she reverts back to her normal form and you see her face. And then in the very end of the book, it gives you who she is and what her backstory is a little bit. It gives you her real name and how she got her powers, but I don't think it's that necessary to learn that in the first issue either. So what did I think? It's another Ghost Rider book. It's definitely different than it has been before. The art is good. The story is semi-interesting, but at the same time, it's about characters that I don't care about. And it's the same kind of theme, again, that it has been with Ghost Rider before. They had such an opportunity to redesign this character. Not only make her female, but make her do these things totally different than everybody else. And they didn't do that. It's basically the same thing. I think she shoots her vengeance power or whatever that makes you feel the sorrow of all the people you've inflicted that stuff on. But anyway, it's an interesting number one. I didn't love it, but it was okay. I will not be buying the next one. I probably will not be looking at it because, you know, unless it's directly tied into Fear itself and there's something in there that I have to see, then I probably won't be buying it. But it's good art. You'll like it if you like Ghost Rider for sure. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. So that's Ghost Rider number 1, the Fear Itself tie-in. So there you go. If you like this review and want to see others, look for video reviews by Peteparker. You'll find him. Or on YouTube, the name is Spidey207 of the account. So I may or may not be doing this next week because I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. If I don't actually have these out from the hotel room out there, then I will make up for it when I get back to do all the ones that I missed, and you know, the next week also. So until then, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.